The Housing Trust Fund is so critical for the needs of affordable housing in the state of Florida. The trust fund money is really important because it lets us serve a broader array of households, not just income-wise, but also the types of households that we're serving. And so it's really important that the funding continue to be at the highest levels possible, because we're serving all kinds of vulnerable populations. If you look at the homeless population, which is a really vulnerable population that's continued to grow in the state of Florida, the elderly population, and this has always been a haven for the elderly to come retire, and they live on a fixed income. And then you got a large veteran population. All those are impacted by the rising cost of housing, and the Sadowski Act funds, the Housing Trust Fund, really play a critical role in being able to make that housing more affordable for many of these households.
Well, I was living at Joseph Village, and it was pretty good there, but I ended up getting sick. I had a little illness in the body, and I ended up not working as much hours as I did. So I ended up being evicted for 1 month's rent. So I had to end up sleeping in my car. And during the 2 months that I lived in my car, I was afraid sometime at night because I didn't know whether someone was going to come and bust my windows or do something really, really bad to me. Then I gave her the full details of how I became homeless, and I told her that I was sleeping in my car, the back seat of my car, once I get off from work.
Do you need a minute? We can stop. Just take a deep breath.
When I told Miss Lisa that I was sleeping in the backseat of my car, she told me, she said, no, we gotta do something to help you. We gotta get you out of here, out of that car. So now I'm here. I have a full-time job. I'm doing well, and I'm stable now. And I don't have nothing to worry about anymore. Thank you, Miss Lisa.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. And I feel much better, and I am at peace now.
No, actually I was living with my ex-husband at the time, and I was desperately trying to get out on my own, and didn't have a lot of money, and it was a problem. I was trying to get into an apartment. The apartments weren't working out, plus they were astronomical in price. So I just decided, well, let me see if I can buy a house with a little bit of money. If it really truly hadn't been for that bond coming in, I wouldn't have been able to afford this at all.
So now she's completely happy in her home. She's able to afford it and living her life in her home.
It totally changed my focus. It changed my life as far as being able to finally own a home of my own. It's my first home by myself. And yeah, if it hadn't been for that, I couldn't have done this.
So in 1997, my siblings and I, we lost our mom to a traffic crash. So once my mom died, that house was gone. It was no more. So it was up to me to reset the foundation that she had already laid for us. Sitting next to her in the bed, in the hospital bed, because she was in a coma for 2 weeks, trying to figure out, my God, what are we gonna do? You know, we don't have anywhere to go. This is it. And I had already promised her, you know, when she was there that, hey, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take care of them. I'm gonna do whatever I can to take care of my siblings. At the time I was 19, I had a son of my own who was about 6-7 months at the time. And so what happened, I ended up with custody of my younger siblings, all 6 of them. And we moved from apartment to apartment because you're talking about 8 people trying to live in an apartment, and there just wasn't one that was big enough for us. So what ended up happening is I thought to myself, gosh, what can I do? You know, I knew I couldn't afford to buy a home because I just did not have I was just not financially able at the time. Though I did know that owning a home would stabilize our family. I figured that it would lay some foundation for us. I found out that there were funds out there to assist me in purchasing a home. And actually I was able to take advantage of those. There were certain things that I had to do with my credit, you know, getting my down payment, but these funds actually helped me with my down payment assistance and purchasing the home that you see me in today. I really truly believe in, and I know this probably will sound crazy to you, that purchasing my home helped stabilize our lives enough that I became a police officer. I think, you know, at purchasing this home, I'd like to think that my mom, she probably was really excited about the fact, and she probably was patting me on the back. I like to think that she looks down at us, and when we purchased our home, to see how happy, and knowing that she wasn't here through this process, but knowing that I did what I said that I was gonna do, and I made sure that none of my siblings were left out. Well, like I said, they always have a place to call home if any of them need, because this is our house. This is our home. This is ours.
And the reason that I moved here, we both retired and finances were becoming just way too tough for us. And we're on food stamps, which amount to a total of $16 a month, which isn't very helpful. And when you get to be a senior, medical expenses take a lot of your money. And we can't afford to have insurance, so we live on Medicare and pray every day that nothing serious really happens to either one of us. So when Forest Ridge came about, it was affordable housing that within our Social Security, we had the means to have a good existence. We don't have money to save and go out and party or go on cruises or travel, which I would love to do. That's what I was looking forward to in retirement. But we have things to do, and we're surrounded by people our own age. And this place truly feels like a family. But it's affordable for us, which is the only way that we'd be able to survive right now.
Florida Realtors ask for your support in protecting the Affordable Housing Trust Funds. Let's stop raiding the trust funds and start helping those who need a hand. Our homeless, our seniors, and our veterans. Thank you.